there, and there. Great. Another video finished. Now it's time to lay back and... It's been 2 months?
Well, the moment has passed. Back to work!
Is there anything more annoying than work? Always you gotta drop all the fun stuff to go do something that you're passionate about. Well, except that most people actually hate their work, and rather that's why they wanna do something else. It's the freedom that people enjoy, or at least claim to enjoy. I don't know what kind of freedom is sitting on your couch scrolling on your phone. I was thinking more like skydiving or going on a hike. Work is
stupid!
Freedom is
very good!
And that's kind of where procrastination was born. Tell me how much you relate to this. You're always late on projects, lack motivation, you forget about your work, but low effort to get the work done faster, would rather do anything than work. If you relate to one or more of these, then you gotta start working things out. The motivation part is probably the second most important part of this video. We're kind of taught nowadays that if you don't feel like doing it, you ain't gotta, which is ridiculous. Imagine you get stabbed and there's only one other person in the street that can help you, and they just say, nah, I don't feel like it. Well, I didn't want to leave either way. We can't see at all how this could go wrong. I'm already mad that my friends procrastinate, but do you know who I'm even more mad to? Myself. When I run down the numbers, making a video is gonna take me longer than 2 weeks. Though it would mean I would have to spend all my free time on them, but still, there is a possibility. Or, oh sorry, it took me a day to write the script that I didn't like, and another to write one that I do. And then I spent 30 minutes drawing. Then I decided to forget about my video and take a 20-day break, only to come back and realize that I'm way behind the schedule. Last week, as of recording this video, I actually enjoyed how much I was finally able to focus on my video. So much so that I began to wonder what got me to this. Motivation? Yeah, that what got me started for a good 20 minutes. But what kept me going was none other than discipline. Discipline is a thing that is missing from our society. I would say it's the main reason why nothing ever gets done. I mean, people have worse mental health since the Great Depression, but I would say it all comes down to discipline. Even when I was at my lowest, the only way I made myself feel better was through discipline. Procrastination is entirely killed off with discipline. But what is discipline? To put it simply, it's doing the things that you hate like you love it. Sounds tough, but that's what it is. And the reason why I'm talking about this subject is not only because of my actions, but the actions of others. I'm so deeply upset that every friend that I've ever had was a victim of no discipline, or some of them were on the right path. But hey, pussy is good, and if I gotta wait to get some, I'm gonna. School is also my worst enemy for this very reason. You would think that school, which forces you to be focused on something by law, would make people more disciplined, but you're wrong again. Yes, you might be doing the work, but just eventually. Why bother doing homework when you can watch thirst traps on social media? Ain't got time for that. Study for a test? Nah, no. I gotta play video games. School and work are both the things that people mostly procrastinate. They don't teach you discipline. They teach you to hate something so badly that you never wanna do it, and then ruin your life by making you do it for your whole life. Now you might be thinking that this is a bit of a stretch, but it's not really. Procrastination is such a huge problem. If you put any effort into anything, you immediately stand out from people, which is crazy to think about. I once made the decision to play video games less, start working out, learn how to fight, and read books. And it was funny to see my friend's reaction when I came into school and started to reading the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He thought I had hit my head. Now most people like to come up with excuses not to read. I mean, of course you wouldn't want to when your attention span is less than a second. Reading is the best thing to start with when healing your attention span, other than deleting TikTok. Now why am I talking about attention spans here? Well, that's because when you don't have any attention span, you forget stuff all the time. Back when I still had TikTok, believe it or not, I once woke up on a Saturday morning, went to the kitchen to make coffee. I walked around for almost 25 minutes just thinking about random stuff until I remembered what I was supposed to do. And even after beginning the progress to make coffee, I wasted another 15 minutes walking around until I got back to reality again. Horrible. And my friend was also a perfect example of this. We're walking from school to home and he just stares into the ground and doesn't talk at all. I'm talking to him the whole way, thinking he is just listening. But the second I say his name, he just yells, "What?" Same kind of energy when you tell a life story in Discord, only to realize you were muted. Except that this is called brain fog. This brain fog is what stops you from progress, which only furthers procrastination. And it's also so easily fixable. But what about mental health problems then? Well, for most people, nowadays, it's because of your poor life choices. Look at your diet, exercise plan, hobbies, sleep schedule, music taste, relationship. Yeah, looks quite bad, don't it? You gotta get your life together. And what a better way to get working is starting martial arts. Once I started boxing, I realized that I don't have any room for excuses. My first ever sparring session was nothing more than a beating. Imagine how bad it could have been if I just sat there and said, no, I don't feel like fighting. Yeah, I'd probably be dead. Now, if fighting is not exactly your taste, except that I definitely will tell everyone in the world to try them, you can start lifting weights. Where as well there are no excuses. If you stop going, you won't gain muscle. If you give up while doing bench press, you will have a new place to be. Now if you're going through something worse, like maybe you lost a close family member or you have cancer diagnosis, it's a bit more tricky. But my best advice would be to always do the best possible moves on the board. And I will tell you right now, sitting down and crying is not the option. Yeah, it feels good to get that out, and it's fine if you do, but if you still have time, you should not waste all of it on just being sad. Denial is the first part of grieving process, but only the first. The next step is to accept and move on. Wow, this video took a dark turn. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, right, procrastination. Stop with the excuses and get to work. Or else hug tighter, cause this is the best you're gonna get.